Welcome to my video about using the wonderful new wood grain background stamp available from Stampin' Up! On page 133 in the catalog. And the item number on this is 117100 if you're interested in buying it. I saw this in the catalog and I just had to have it. Just had to, because I love background stamps. And so I decided I would play with it. And so what you need to do this is, what I started out with was a piece of Very Vanilla, and I inked it up with soft suede and stamped it. And this is what you get. And when you first see this, you think, oh my gosh, that's really stark, that's really modernistic looking, bleh. So I decided to start playing with it, and what I did was I took that original piece that I stamped with soft suede, and I took Sahara sand and I stamped it again. Now what you want to make sure that you do is, when you double stamp like this, the second time you stamp, you want to make sure that the areas that you stamped before are lined up. So you want to flip this over, and it doesn't have to be exactly in line. In fact, you don't want it to be. And so you get a second image that's pretty close to the first, but it's not exactly on top of it. So after I did that, I started rubbing some ink onto the cardstock, and I'll show you with a sponge, which I have soft suede here. And if you try to brayer on this, because it's not glossy, you will get lines because the brayer isn't long enough to make the trip around without running out of ink, and so you get lines, and that's not good. So as you can see, I just started rubbing on, and it's better if you start off the cardstock, then you don't get these like flops. But actually, you know, those can look kind of cool. And just rub until you get something that looks like this. Now that's not very pretty either, is it? It's kind of ugly. So I wanted to deepen and make it look more like wood. So on my next one, I added some more mustard. And so I sponged more mustard on it and worked it and worked and worked and worked and worked it and worked it until I got this. And that looks a lot more like wood, but I'm not done yet because it doesn't look enough like wood to me. Now, I'm going to show you the final step that really helps deepen the grain and make it look like wood. Okay, I'm going to ink up this wood grain background with vanilla, Very Vanilla Craft ink. It's a pigment ink, so it will show up on my wood grain, and I'm just going to lay this on there. And I'm going to put a piece of paper over the back, and then I'm going to rub to transfer the ink. Normally I would flip my grid paper over on top of it, but my tripod is sitting on my grid paper, so that's no good. And I'm going to peel this up, and you'll see that the vanilla ink has added a real nice depth to the wood grain. And then you just let that dry. Now I've gone on to make different looks. This is my golden oak, and that's done with soft suede and more mustard. And then this is walnut or pine, and that's done with creamy caramel, Sahara sand, and soft suede, with the vanilla on top. And this is mahogany or cherry, which I did with Bravo Burgundy, Dusty Durango, and soft suede, and I think that is really gorgeous. I can't wait to take this piece and use it in a project. And now I will show you some of the cards that I made with using these background technique. Now this is just a simple background, and I used more mustard, Dusty Durango and soft suede. And it doesn't really look like any wood known to man. I mean, maybe somewhere there's wood like this, but I've never seen it. But you don't have to stick to the tried and true wood stains look to get a cool background. You could do a blue one. It would be different. That's what they say. If you're Dutch, that's what they say when they mean. I don't like it, but I'm too nice to say. The other one is interesting. Okay. And then I did Joseph's coat inside out with this background, and I really think that is just, it's gorgeous. I just love myself so much. Yeah. And then I did one more thing where what I'm going to call this veneer inlay. And what I did was I did my background. I dusted it down really good with an embossing buddy to get rid of the moisture and the static. And then I stamped with Versamark and my coneflower from Inspirations by Nature. And then I embossed it with clear embossing powder. And then I rubbed more soft suede ink until I just kept deepening it, adding more ink and adding more ink until I got this wonderful two-tone look that looks like an inlaid table that you might see at a fine furniture place. I just think it's magnificent. What can I say? I'm good. What am I saying? I'm good. I'm great. So, if you do my background with this stamp, I would love to see what you've done with it. So link up at my blog at jantink.com. Bye.